Today I thought I'd produce a quick video on pricing your Amazon product. I've been going through doing some research on different products, looking at using the Jungle Scout extension to have a look at both the pricing and the estimated sales based on Jungle Scout. And there's a couple of things that I found looking across a wide variety of different products. One is price is not the dominant factor in volume. In fact, the best-selling products are often the most expensive. So it goes against what most people are thinking is, well, if the lower prices are going to sell more. What we can see in Amazon is that's not often the case, and we're looking at a number of different products, and the pattern seems to be fairly familiar. We are either looking at a flat price elasticity curve or something that's kind of moving up. Now, I've looked at a couple of products and want to use. So in this case, we're looking at the classic example of garlic press, which is a good example as any. And here we have graphed the volume based on the estimated sales from Jungle Scout and the list price. So we can see it as a scattergram. And we can see a number of different products here. We can see a bunch around this $15 mark, a couple of others, $16, probably $17. OXO, which is a very big brand, sitting at probably $16. Alpha Gorillas, which is the top one, that's selling at $20, and we've got Kuhn Rico at probably, it looks like about $24. And then the lower price ones, we've got X-Chef, probably sitting at $7, OE at $10, Turtle Mart, etc. So it gives us a pretty good idea. And what we've done here is we've just put in a trend line to see where the averages are sitting. And we can see that as volume goes up, as price goes up, the volumes are actually going up as well. And we're going to see that across, if you do this graph with your Jungle Scout data, you can see this quite simply across a whole wide range of products. And when you're doing this, it's a good idea to not sort the Jungle Scout data by page rank, but have a look at volume as well, because sometimes the first page is full with products that may not be there for very long. So in essence, we're looking at, within any product, out of the 20,000 units that have been sold, 13,000 people were willing to pay more than double the lowest price. So in fact, we've got two different markets here. We've got the lower price bargain hunters and the people who price is not as important a factor. So when you're going into a market, it's important to think, well, okay, where am I going to position myself in this market? And you need to consider that there may be 2 or 3 different markets within that same market, some niches. In this case, we've got the bargain hunters down here and the people who are interested in something else other than price. So what we're going to look at is 2 products, Alpha Gorillas and X-Chef. They're the 2 highest selling products according to the Jungle Scout data. I went back on a previous month, and they were still the previous month. They were still the highest selling products. So the first one is Alpha Gorillas. It's a bestseller. It's got all the features, etc. The next one we're looking at X-Chef. Again, it's got all the same type of features. We'll go into those a bit more in detail, but let's just have a look at what they are. Alpha Gorillas, private label seller. It hasn't got any other major brands that we can see in there. It's got a price of $19.97, estimated monthly sales, 3,600 per month. Number of reviews, 1,300. We've got X-Chef, again, from what we can tell, a private label seller. Price, $7.99, $8. Estimated monthly sales, just slightly below 3,000, still a significant volume. The reviews are 312, so significantly less number of reviews, but there could be a number of reasons for that. They may not have a good review process for getting reviews. The other thing is, effectively, they're in 2 different markets. We've got the high prime market and the bargain basement market. The issue is that the people buying the X-Chef one at this price probably don't care too much about this product. So they're not willing to really probably put a review in because its price is not too important. So let's look at why people buy. People, you've probably heard this before, but yeah, some positive factors. the product is going to solve their problem. Now, a garlic press, it's crushing garlic so they don't get smelly hands, or it saves time, or they don't want to cut themselves. And the product is going to put them into a better position. So they're the two main positive factors. They've got a problem to solve, and it's going to put them into a better position than where they were beforehand. And we've got some negative factors. The risk that the product will not solve their problem, the risk that they will regret their purchase. So it might be, I should have bought the other one that was a better quality, or we should have done something else, or the other forms of regret and buyer's remorse, etc. But this is basically a product ranging from $8 to $20. So I don't think we've really got too much in buyer's remorse in relation to that. And there's the risk of the transaction. It's scammed, it's fraudulent, it's not going to be delivered, etc. So if we look at these two products, they are actually exactly the same. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out of the same factory, if we look at the bits. So it's exactly the same product. One's selling for $20. This one's selling for $20, one on the left, and this one's selling for $8. So let's look at, if we terms of going back to those issues of why people buy, let's have a look at the bullet points in here. And I brought this up because it was just an example of what the difference are, is why one product's selling at $8 and the other one's selling at $20. The one on the left looks like a poorly written SEO article from years ago. It mentions garlic press in each, ex-chef garlic press in each bullet point. It's got poor English in parts. For example, it will please any receivers without a doubt in relation to its perfect gift. It's all about the product, not about the solution. So if we look at some of the things, feel the thickness of the handles and how comfortably your fingers wrap around them. I mean, it's not really about the product, which is what they need to solve. They've got products and the features and benefits in there, but the benefits are the wrong benefits. The benefits about how the product feels, not how it minces garlic and makes your job easier. If we look at some of the other things, is your current garlic press rusty or scratched? I mean, I don't think that's really going to be important. The other thing, in the first line, it mentions silicon in here. It doesn't mention that it's stainless steel further down. So this one's got solid stainless steel, cooking gadgets as long as you need them, rather than last a lifetime, which I think is a better guarantee rather than a lifetime guarantee, as long as you need them. It has this added benefit of garlic and ginger. Easy. So it's a much better version of bullet points in terms of being able to highlight those. And when we go on to look at a bit further about what strategies each of these companies could look at, or you could look at, we can see why one of these strategies is going to fail in relation to the bullet points that they're using. In this graph, I've looked at the estimated gross profit after FBA fees and assumed that each product, each item, had a $3 landed unit cost. Now, some products are obviously going to be cheaper, say OXO, that's a part of a $1 billion sales brand company, but they're going to have higher admin costs. Alpha Gorillas, I mean, they're going to have, it's just a simple private labeler. ex-chef, it looks like it's probably a Chinese company. They may be slightly cheaper, but really they're going to get $1 cheaper. It's probably not going to be a great deal cheaper. So if we look at some of these, we end up with a couple of different quadrants. And you can look at this in terms of any product and look at the different quadrants. And if you haven't got the gross profit data, you can still do the same thing with your sales data. And we've got losers. Losers are low gross profit, low volume. Then we've got problem childs, which are low gross profit, high volume. Now, the reason they're problem childs is, one is they're not generating very much free cash. They're not, if you get a problem, they're only competing on price. So therefore, any other issues with they haven't got any fallback. Then we've got these ones in potential, which are high gross profit and low volume. And the object is with the potentials is to move them into the winners category. And the winners are high volume, high margins. So we can see that in these two, Xchef calculated monthly gross profit of $2,400. Now they could be making a little bit more than that, but they're not going to be making much more than that. It might go up to $5,000 or $6,000. Alpha Gorillas are making $39,000 profit a month. So it's significantly different. So even though the pricing's different, one of them's got some massively free cash flow. I mean, Xchef's been trying to push out along this strategy, let's get more sales. But to be honest, he's not going to generate any free cash flow. They're going to have to keep on buying more stock to keep on feeding the engine effectively. And these guys have got lots of free time, free cash available that enables them to advertise. They've got a lot of room to do a lot of different things, develop new products. So if we look at what strategy you should be applying, now there's two strategies. One is this group of losers, and Xchef were in this group, were trying to push themselves into this area. So increase the volume, so to get greater volume so that they can get more sales, potentially get more profit. But it's causing a problem because they're moving from a loser category to a problem child. I mean, they're not making enough money. And the ability of them to go from here up to this level is going to be constrained. They just can't put up the price because if you remember when we looked at the bullet points, they're just competing on price. They haven't worked out a product in which is converting. The other issue is I sometimes see this, people are going into a product and they're getting their test product and they're down in this level. They're down in the losers category and they're saying, okay, I'm going to test this product, but I want to check whether it sells. I mean, all the products in Amazon sells. You can work out whether they're going to sell or not. The issue is whether they're going to sell at the right price. And we see people kind of testing a product at this point and then hoping that it's going to push up. Really, you should be testing your product at the right price, the price that's going to make you a profit. And that profit might not be in the first sample batch, obviously, but it's going to make you a profit in the future. The ability to move from losers to winners is very difficult. This process is almost impossible. You're better off moving up into the potential area and then moving across into winners. So in summary, look at the pricing and the gross profit that people are generating. Compare the high and lows, work out, don't make your control the lowest price, because in Amazon, that's not the dominant feature of why people buy on Amazon. Think about it in terms of two markets. And what you really want to be doing is not using the lowest price product as your control, but looking at these higher price, higher volume products as the control that you're going to try and beat.